I'm just popping on here real quick. Hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome in. Whatever applies. Appropriate greeting of the day and time. I just wanted to do something real quick. And because I got something else I need to take care of. So I had to go ahead on and pop on here and get this done. Y'all, I was sitting here I'm doing two things at once. I was listening to a live and then I was scrolling on my other screen on YouTube. I saw West Indies baby daddy. I guess I could have gave y'all my greeting, huh? Because I just jumped right in because I just want to get this done real quick. Hey, 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 y'all. This is Kiss the Ring, and I back off in this thing. And guess what happened? I saw West Indies baby daddy thing pop up and I had it playing with no sound and it has the caption, closed caption on the screen. So on the screen is I turned the volume up and I was like, "Oh, the irony." So I'm gonna play the audio and then I'm gonna react to it. But of course, I'm gonna change it up. So now this is Will, Marissa's baby daddy. This is something that he just posted at the end of March. Also, let me tell you something. I looked at the amount of views. His views has gone up and his subscriber count has increased since he's been fighting with Marissa on social media, which is why he probably keeps doing it because he's at the point now where he got over the 500 where he can get monetized, and surely if he continues to go he will go over that thousand. He had a pretty, when I peeked in on his live earlier, I mean, where he was, excuse me, I've been saying where he was live earlier, he had probably more folks watching him than usual. Not probably, but he did. And so this is benefiting his growth. But let me play this real quick and do this real quick because I'm only gonna be here for a minute and then I got something I need to get to. So listen to this. This is Marissa's baby daddy. Now, this is the type of content he does because you're going to hear what he actually says, but I'm going to kind of respond to it in a different kind of way. Listen to this. You know something? I just realized something. I had my AirPod on and I don't know if the sound was coming through the way that it needed to. So let me do that one more time. Right? Guess what? You're gonna have to jump. I know you like what that mean. What I'm saying is you're gonna have to jump into your dreams. You're gonna have to jump into your reality that you want. You're gonna have to jump into your finances so they can take off. That business idea you've been thinking about, guess what? If you don't jump on that idea right now, it's over with. Now this is what I want to know. I'm gonna push this back a little bit because I kind of got distracted. That's my bad. But he said that's his little silly little intro. It's corny if you ask me. But he said you gotta jump, right? Jump into the business idea, jump into all of that. But this is what I want to know. If he really believe it's a good idea to jump, why didn't he jump into that relationship and stay? And jump into that marriage that he's gaslighting and jump into signing that birth certificate for that baby that's allegedly sharing 50% of his DNA. Why not? Listen to this. Here. You're gonna have to jump. You like what I mean, King? What I'm saying is technology. Oh, so annoying. I hit the screen to pause and a notice popped up on the screen, so it didn't pause exactly where I wanted to. But anyway, there it is, right? You gotta jump. Well, why don't he jump then? Jump and fix what you need to fix. Nope, nope. Just want to give advice and not follow it, huh? Um, um, jump into your reality, he said. Hold on. Okay, here you go. Jump into the reality that you want. He claimed he want a connection to his son. He claimed that at some point he wanted something more with Marissa, all of that kind of stuff. Why he ain't jumping to it and make it work? She wanted to live with him. Apparently, he gaslit her into thinking that they would live together. Why he ain't jump into that? He doing content in some bathroom, trying to look like he's fancy or something, but and giving advice that he doesn't follow. And the other stuff he be saying be cap, but so everybody else should listen to him and jump, but he ain't jump. Listen. Why he ain't jumping his finances so they can take off? Allegedly, he's multiple car notes behind, okay, and other and not financially stable. So he said you got to jump into your finances so you can take off. That's why you got to be careful who you listen to, because it implies that he did it and he got his stuff together. If he got the answers, then why didn't he do it? Why isn't he succeeding in this area that he's talking about on here? Listen to this. Okay, but did he jump into his? Because he says he runs a car rental business, but it's not working for him because, hey, the finances are strapped. Is he talking to himself? Which is funny that he would say that, because in the interview he did last night, with everything that he spoke about with his relationship, I didn't hear him take any accountability. He pointed fingers at Marissa. He blamed everything under the sun except for himself. He presented himself in a grandiose manner, like he has improved and done certain things, and even graduated the program, which really was him being in the homeless shelter with honors. Everything about him is grandiose and successful. Let him tell it, but that's not really what's happening. So where's his accountability if that's the case, right? But why that doesn't even make sense. Why would people be intimidated by someone um because this person has jumped out there to follow their dreams or set out to do what it takes to accomplish their goals, and they're actually doing it? Why would people be intimidated by it? And because they don't understand it, does someone else need to understand your dreams, goals, and what your vision or whatever it is that you're chasing? Why does someone else have to understand it? The only person that has to understand it is the person who it belongs to, who the dreamer is. That's who has to understand it. The actual dreamer of said dream, the person who is chasing the goals. And why would people be intimidated by someone chasing their goals when most people are chasing their own dreams and goals? A lot of people are. They're too busy focused on accomplishing their own dreams and goals to be intimidated by the next person who is working on accomplishing their own dreams and goals, if they really are. But for someone who says that you're being insecure, I mean, not okay, I jumped the gun with what I was saying. By someone thinking that others are going to be intimidated by a person who is chasing their dreams and goals, that would be an insecure person. Insecure, not confident, and not focused on themselves, but focused on outwardly things, which therefore would avert your ability to successfully accomplish your goals, because you have to stay focused on what? You and your goals, not everyone else. And if someone is intimidated, if you happen to run across someone who is intimidated by you as you chase your dreams and goals, who gives a F? Who gives one? So, therefore, it's not a relevant piece of the conversation and it doesn't deserve to be mentioned. Moving on. So he should jump out there and go get that paternity document. I'm gonna ride it till the wheels fall off. Okay, and if that's the case, then how come after the sixth baby mama and sixth baby, he hadn't learned from the learning curve? Is he just gonna continue to fail as he populates the metro Atlanta area and never get it right? But how many tries does it take to learn what doesn't work? Because in his life, it doesn't seem that he has learned that lesson, but yet he sits in some bathroom, pick whichever one he chooses on whichever particular day, looking like he got a decent outfit on, but his baby mama needs food and all kinds of assistance, giving advice that he isn't qualified to give. So does that mean it's never gonna happen for him? That's what why isn't he betting on himself and actually getting into a real stable, committed, legally committed relationship with at least one of the people he impregnated and making a unified household where at least one of his child has both of the parents in the home to help take care of them? I wouldn't even ride it as hard if he had one kid or two kids. You're on the sixth kid, and you didn't even do that with any of them. He can't give anybody any advice about anything. He didn't even take care of the most basic principle that drives success, which is taking care of home. And the best men have a good woman by their side. I'm not saying Marissa's a good woman. She is a goofy airhead. However, she's moldable. And if he was good, she could be something decent because she's ready for the picking. But he ain't the one though. He ain't the one to be able to do that. I think he just break her down even more, and I don't know. I just don't think it will work. I don't think it will work. She's an airhead that needs a leader, and he is not a leader. He is I don't know what he is. He ain't no real man though. No. Okay, same thing. Pose he need to pose a question to himself when it come to his personal situation. I'm just gonna let it play. Mhm. Jump off the cliff and do the plan on the way back up. Is that what he did when he pow-powed the club up? Because he pow-powed Marissa's club up, and then it's been a crap show before then and a crap show afterwards. You see how he thinks? You see how his ideas work out? They don't. You might not have all the tools, you might not have all the finances. You matter of fact, you might not even have all the instructions on how to do it. Well, he clearly doesn't have all the tools, but he definitely has experience at being a bum, experience at pow powing the club up and running off on the plug. Okay? Yeah, you might not have all the finances. Well, clearly he don't have that either. He don't think that it's important to have them finances set first before you just keep powing, raw dogging up in the club and then making babies. Boy, I tell you, that's what I'm telling you. You just cannot be listening to these random people on social media just giving advice. You don't know. You can't just be listening. It's going to progress every single time. It's going to grow every single time. But is it? Is it? How's that philosophy working for him? You're going to learn what did work in your arsenal. So, did he learn what did work and learn what didn't work? The first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. Is it going to take a seventh baby and a seventh baby mama before he apply the lessons? Okay. That's what. That's when the doors open. Let them sit to your spirit. Let go. You heard that? The worst advice I ever heard. Turn them fingers all the way back towards him and let him apply it to his life. You got a woman that just gave birth to your newborn out here. He giving this advice a week ago, about a week ago, a little over a week ago is when he made that. His baby was already born. The baby mama was over there with his newborn and he was already giving her hell. He need to talk to himself. And the woman is facing eviction. She could still raise the money and pay these folks if and move in with him if he would allow it, but pay them to avoid having an eviction on her record so she doesn't have a problem getting a place to stay or work. Like maybe she could work something out since they seem to be working with her. She could work something out with the people to where, maybe they would allow her to make payments or whatever and she could move on her own without getting evicted and move into what he claims is his condo, but it's actually his apartment. You know what I'm saying? There's options. So he out here making videos and giving advice, trying to look like Mr. Fancy Man, and his baby mama over here going on live and twerking and shaking and doing all the things and dancing for her supper, begging for over $10,000 that she owes since she hasn't paid her rent since August, and then she was talking about getting assistance from programs earlier for her other bills. So what he need to be cooking is assisting that woman that birthed his child, but he has abandoned her for the most part, unless they are secretly working behind the scenes. Because I don't know that they have completely not talking to each other. I wouldn't be surprised if she isn't still doing stuff for him because I believe that she desperately wants his attention and probably something with him, even with all the things that has happened. I think that if he was ready to advance, she'd jump with both feet while he talking about jumping. But he's just full of it and he isn't qualified to give anybody advice. He need to get himself together. The biggest, I one of the biggest red flags with everything he said as I prepare to wrap, and I want to say hello to Yachty. I think it says hello, welcome, welcome. Please double tap the screen, everybody. One of the biggest red flags with everything he said is about jumping and forget, like even when you don't have the finances. He was talking about business. How the hell you gonna do, how you gonna start a business or follow some dream that costs money without finances? That just lets you know his broken way of thinking. And like I said, he shot, I mean, I keep saying the word, he powed her club up and his money wasn't even right and her money wasn't even right, and it costs money to have children, and they both over there scratching and surviving and just jumping with both feet and just hoping that everything works out, and that's not responsible. That's terrible advice. Of course people make children unexpectedly all the time, but a lot of times I would wager to say a significant amount of people, if they aren't already prepared, the moment that they realize that it's a baby on board, they start doing stuff to get ready for the arrival of the bouncing baby boy or girl, because they know that's going to cost money. They know it's going the baby going to need a lot. They know there's things they're going to need to do. They're going to decide whether they're going to be together or not, whether where they're going to live. They decide all of those kind of things, and you got almost a full year to get prepared and make all those things happen before the baby actually is born. So, just jumping in with both feet and then going, oops, surprise, baby on board. And then just being like, well, we'll just let the finances figure themselves out and land where they land. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I want to add something else in with him and all his other children. Marissa was on her live earlier. She mentioned his kids, and she said when he said something about Thanksgiving and the Christmas presents, and she said he said something about not buying presents for his kids. She don't really know his kids, and she hasn't met all of his kids. She said he don't really talk about them. I guess his kids haven't been around. The reason that I'm laughing is because he be trying to act like he there for them kids, but he know he ain't got no money, and he know he ain't. It's obvious he ain't. If he could be doing this to her and she got a newborn, come on, man. This is a pattern. That's my opinion. I don't have no facts to back it up. I don't know these people in real life. Okay? So I'm just saying, like, he wanted her to buy presents for kids she haven't even met, even though she turned around and did it for Valentine's Day. But if his finances was right, then he would have done it himself, right? But he was mad at her because she didn't buy his kids present, but he didn't turn around and say that he bought the kids presents himself. So I guess he thinks, again, you just jump out there with both feet, you pow the club up, and then the finances just land how they land. Okay, it didn't work with the first one. Let me jump out here with both feet with the second one. Okay, and now we on number six. And again, if he don't chill, number seven gonna be coming. Okay, and then they keep bringing up this lady. I think the lady's name is Cookie. Is that her name? I think this lady Cookie. I hope Cookie is actually just a so-called friend, and she ain't letting that man go pow up in that club, or you gonna be number seven, and then you gonna be Marissa, and Marissa is whoever was before her, and whoever was before that person is the person before Marissa, etc. You get what I'm saying? And I don't think he's gonna stop. He just gonna do it as long as they let him do, because he don't have his stuff together, and I don't really know where he's going with that. But I heard that. I wanted to play that real quick and then go ahead and keep it moving, because oh man, I'm sitting here tired. I got something I need to do, but I said let me get up and get it go ahead and finish it up. Thanks anybody that came in and listened. Please double tap that screen for a like. And chime in if you feel compelled to do so. And with that being said, y'all already know I'm gonna get up out of here. This is my I think third one today. So so all the good the salutations, wishing y'all the best, peace and blessings and love, sending love your way on this lovely Friday evening. And I am going to get up out of here. I'm going to catch y'all on the rebound. Peace.